friends, welcome back to the Rabbitat Homestead. My name's Ashley, and today I wanted to basically just show you my daily routine with raising meat rabbits. I'm just going to go through and give them all food, water, hay, and then I have a doe that is going to kindle soon. She's due for her nest box. So I want to give you a little bit of an insight before we get started on how I run my rabbitry with breeding and all of those different things. I'll go over what I have just in case you're new and you're looking to learn how to raise meat rabbits, or you're new to my channel, just to kind of share how I do things here. So I have 3 hutches, and one of my hutches is right behind me, the first one that we built, and it has 3 stalls in it. It currently holds 2 bucks and 1 doe, who currently has a litter. And then over here, I have my grow out hutch right next to it. This is my grow out hutch. It has 2 stalls and they're very big. I don't have exact measurements. I keep meaning to get those for you guys. But they hold, usually I'll separate my grow out rabbits from male and female, depending on what I have going on. Sometimes I'll just put 1 litter in each stall. But that's my grow out hutch. And then I have 1 more stall that I hold 2 does in. It's the exact same hutch as this, but my doe, I have 1 doe on each side. Now all of my does have the same amount of space in each stall. So I have 2 bucks and 3 does currently that I breed. And the reason being for me having 2 bucks is just because I like having a backup buck. Now that is not necessary, it's more expensive, and that is just, I don't recommend doing that. That's just something that I like to do, and maybe you will as well, I don't know, but I like having another buck on hand in case the other one isn't working out or something happens to him. I just have another buck ready to go, ready to breed on hand. So let me show you over here my other hutch. So 3 hutches, 2 of them house my breeders and 1 of them house my grow outs. All right, so this is my last hutch I was telling you about. It's the same size as my grow out hutch, but instead of housing grow outs, it houses 2 of my does. I have a pure silver fox doe here, and then I have a half silver fox over here, and she currently has a litter. I recently weaned her and she's about to kindle soon. So that's what I have for hutches. That's my complete rabbit setup. But let's go back over and I'll introduce you to Darling's kits. If you've been following my channel, you know Darling is a new doe, and I've been struggling breeding her for quite a while, but I finally got a decent litter out of her, so I'm very pleased. So let's check in on her and see how she's doing. So every time I go to open the hutch, all the babies run inside of their nest box. There's one right now. I'm just going to take their nest box out for a second so that you can see them. So Darling over here currently has 4 kits. Not a very big size litter, but I'm still happy with the outcome, especially given all of the struggles that I've had with her over the past year. But she's been a really good mom. I'm really happy with her. All right, so while I'm taking care of my rabbits here, let me talk about a little bit about how my breeding schedule works. Let me just go through step by step. My chickens are hungry, so they're following me around everywhere. So typically what happens is I breed my doe. I look for 3 fall-offs when I breed my doe. Once my doe is bred, it takes about 28 to 31 days before the doe will kindle, which means she will have her babies. Typically, I will up her feed halfway through the pregnancy, so around 15 days. And I'll give her her nest box on day 25 of her pregnancy before she kindles, which I'm actually going to do that today with Thumper because she's due for her nest box and she'll be kindling in a few days. So once the babies are born, When they are 6 weeks old, I will rebreed their mom. And then at 8 weeks old, I will wean the kits from mom, and that will give the doe 2 weeks to kind of recover, dry up any milk, take a break. And then once she's had that 2-week break, she's going to kindle again. And it just kind of keeps the process rolling. It helps you avoid having to wait 4 weeks after you've weaned the kits for another kindle. So it just kind of keeps things going. Now so I usually keep that schedule in the nicer months of the year, so spring, fall, but in the harsher times of year, the heat of summer, or the cold winter when we're getting freezing temperatures, or below freezing temperatures, I will kind of slow down, give them a little bit of a break. And how I do this without stopping my breeding schedule is I always wean the kits at 8 weeks old, but I will breed the doe at 8 weeks old when their kits are 8 weeks old as well. So the way I slow down my breeding schedule is I always wean my kits at 8 weeks old. You could do it sooner, but that's just kind of what works for me. I've always done 8 weeks and it's always worked out really well. But when I wean the kits at 8 weeks old, I will rebreed the doe, the mother. And that will just give her a 4-week break instead of 2. And I'll usually do that, like I said, in the harsher times of year, just to kind of give her a little bit of break. Especially the worst time of year for rabbits is the heat of summer. So sometimes if it's just we're having really hot weather and not getting much rain and stuff like that, I will just stop and give them a break altogether. Maybe take that opportunity to get all 3 of my does on the same schedule again, because things happen and you try to keep them all on the same schedule, but sometimes it just doesn't always work out that way. Maybe a rabbit never kindled like they were supposed to, or just different circumstances. So you could take that break. You could use that as a chance to get your does on the same schedule if you wanted, which I always appreciate because it's less to keep track of. So that is pretty much in a nutshell my breeding schedule. It's very simple, easy to follow. I do have a rabbit breeding log that I created to help document every step of the way, because there's little things like when the kits are 10 days old, you want to check their eyes, or like just knowing the date when you're supposed to wean them or process them, or when mom's supposed to kindle, or the nest box. All of that information, it's a lot. So that is why I've created a rabbit breeding log, to put all that information in one place, just to make things simple. All you have to do is plug in the information, breed date, which buck that you bred them with, kindle date, when the kits are 10 days old, when you're supposed to wean them, when to rebreed mom, processing date. All of that stuff is important information, and it can easily get away from you if you're not paying attention, and life gets in the way and you just kind of forget. It's happened to me a couple times. So that rabbit breeding log will be available on my website, rabbitathomestead.com. So you can check that out when it's available. I don't have it on right now. I'm still working on my website setup, but I just want to make you guys aware that pretty soon I will have a decent website for you to go to download different items that I will have for you to make your life a little easier when it comes to raising rabbits and all of those things. So you'll be able to check that out soon. I'll leave a link down in the description below so you can check it out when it's available. So 4 baby kits, Darling's doing great. And I'm going to rebreed her when these kits are 6 weeks old. And these kits are 4 weeks old right now. So in 2 weeks, I'm gonna rebreed Darling. So I'll give you a look. I don't handle these rabbits too much because these rabbits are grow out rabbits. Occasionally I sell them, occasionally usually just the people that I know. Okay, okay. But this is a 4-week-old rabbit. Pretty big, good sized rabbit. It's amazing how fast they grow. They grow from these tiny little baby rabbits, and in just 4 weeks, they look like that. So it's amazing how fast they grow. But Mom's been doing a great job, and I am happy with how they all are doing. All right, so they have plenty of food, water, and hay. So I am going to leave them be and move on to my bucks, because this is the hutch that I have 2 bucks in. All right, so this is my buck Earl. He's my main buck. He's my oldest buck, and he is just a big, beautiful silver fox. He's so gentle, so docile. He's been like that from day 1. But he's fathered so many kids in my rabbitry, so he is a good boy. Look at this fur. This is one of the things that I love about silver fox. Just look at his fur. One of the traits about silver fox is that obviously they have these silver tips on top of their black fur. And another unique feature is if you pet them up the back, their fur just stands up. Just like that. It's so beautiful. But he is a good rabbit. He's a good boy. Now, let me show you Arlo. Now, Arlo is my second buck. He's my younger buck. And Earl is actually his father. He is much more social than my older buck. He always comes right to the front to see me, to see what's going on. But he is what you would call a blue silver fox. All right, so here's Arlo, my second silver fox buck. Both of my bucks are pure silver fox. But you can look at his fur. You can see the silver tips, and his fur stands up when you pet up his back. Absolutely beautiful. He is a good boy. All right, buddy. There you go. Oh, let's give him some hay. If the chickens don't eat it all. Plenty of pellets, plenty of hay, plenty of water. All right, and then in this stall is Darling, which is the first rabbit that I showed you. So let's go over to my other hutch that holds my 2 does, and then after that I'll show you my grow out hutch. All right, so over here I have Thumper, one of my does, and she is the one that is going to kindle in a few days. She's the one that needs the nest box today. It's day 25 of her pregnancy, so I'm going to give her her nest box, and I'll show you all that. But first, let me grab her and I'll let you take a closer look. I don't want to stress her out too much because she's pregnant, but this is Thumper. She is pregnant, and she's the one getting her nest box. But she's a really good mama. She's super shy, but she is a pure silver fox as well. You can see her little silvering there, but I'm gonna put her back so gently. Okay, plenty of food, water. I'm gonna give her some hay. Had to put it up on top of the hutch because my chickens are following me around because they stalk me whenever I come outside, and they keep pecking at the hay. So all right, there you go, mama. All right, now let's get her nest box together. All right, so these are the nest boxes that I use. My husband made them, and they work out really well. They're slightly bigger than the one that you would get at the store, and they're much cheaper if you just buy some plywood and make them yourself. I think at Tractor Supply, one of these is $30, which is horrible. So we make our own. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take some aspen shavings. I don't use cedar shavings or chicken shavings or anything like that. I always use aspen because they're non-toxic to rabbits, better for the respiratory system, won't cause any issues there. I will say when I first started my rabbitry, I did use the same ones I would use for my chickens, and I never really had an issue, but since then I've learned it's just better and healthier for the rabbits to use aspen shavings, so that is what I use. So I'm just going to take a small handful, and the shavings are just to go on the bottom, and it's basically to help absorb any liquids from the baby rabbits once they're born. Shavings absorb a lot better than hay does, so I always recommend putting some layer of shavings in the bottom of your nest box. So that's what I do. I just put shavings on the bottom, make sure it's completely covered. You don't have to go overboard, just a couple handfuls. And then once that's done, I take the hay and I just kind of shove it in there, and I don't do anything else. You do not want to make up the nest for the does. They're going to do it themselves, and it will give them something to do. You know, they'll do it, and even if you try, they're going to fix it up the way they want it. So I just kind of shove a layer of hay on top, and then I put their nest box back, and then I make sure that they have plenty of hay in their hutch to eat and build their nest with. So she's all set to kindle. Watch out, dear. She's checking it out. So she's all set to kindle. She's going to be making her nest in the next few days. She usually waits until a day or two before. But yeah, she's all set. All right, so over here is my third doe, Lucky. Probably my favorite, but she currently has babies in here with her. Her babies are 4 weeks old. Now this doe has been amazing. She has fostered kits for me. She's always taken care of her babies. She's just a great mom all around. Whenever she's due to have babies and I give her her nest box, she immediately, as soon as I give it to her, she just starts going at it, making her nest box. And she's also really easy to breed with my bucks, so that is nice as well. So she's kind of the perfect doe all around. All right, guys, come on out. Come on out. All right, so let me show you Mom first before I show you the kits. All right, so Lucky did not want to be held, which is fine, but that is Lucky. So she is currently taking care of 6 babies in here, which is pretty good. One of the babies in here has one white paw. It's super adorable. There she is. Isn't she beautiful? That one little white paw. I love it. It's the simple things. She's used to me holding her because I always come out here and hold her because I just think she's adorable. Yep. She's so good. They're gonna have themselves some hay. Hello. All right, so they are all set. Now, let's go over to the grow-out hutch and I'll show you them. Currently, only one litter is in there, so I only have kits in one side of the hutch. So I'll show you those. Those are Lucky's babies that I weaned from her recently. So I'll show you those babies right now. All right, so that is the feed bucket that I keep the rabbits' pellets in, an old litter container from my cats. And like I said, my chickens have been following me around like crazy because they want food. So they're pecking at the rabbit pellet container because they know there's food in there, because every day when I come out and feed my rabbits, they follow me around, and occasionally I may spill a pellet or two on the ground when I'm filling up the feeders, and they always eat it. So it's kind of funny to see them pecking at the container. Over here I have my grow out hutch. This is the only side that I have rabbits in currently. So there are 6 rabbits in here from Thumper's litter that I recently weaned from her. So let me give you a closer look. All right, here they are. They're all bunched up together because I don't really care for company. So these rabbits are 9-10 weeks old. I'd have to double check, but they're pretty good size. I'm really happy with the outcome of Thumper's litter. So I'm just going to give them hay and they will be all set. They have pellets in there, water, and everything. I lost one of my clips, so now I just use this hook. This actually comes with these water bottles over here. By the way, these are the best water bottles that I've come across for raising rabbits. They're great. They hold a ½ gallon of water, so you don't have to fill them constantly. So they work really well. So I'll leave a link down in the description where you can find those. They come with these things to help support the nozzle on the bottom, but I never use them. I've never really found them to be useful. So instead, I'm using it to lock my rabbit's door. Just like that. This is an old, it comes with this piece right here to hold it up on the wire. I just happen to have one that's missing. It has a different thing there to hold it up, but this is what would usually come with it. All right, so my grow outs are all set. My rabbits are all set. Thumper has her nest box. She's about to kindle. All of my grow outs are fed and have their water, and they're all looking good. And then my grow outs are all set. So that is my daily routine raising my rabbits, specifically silver fox rabbits. So if you have any questions or there's anything you'd like to see in the future in any future videos, please let me know. Leave a comment down below. Also, like I said at the beginning, keep an eye out for my new website that I'm about to launch, rabbitathomestead.com, and hopefully that will be a blessing to you. All right, I don't know about you guys raising chickens, but my chickens are free-range chickens, and I don't feed them till the end of the day. I wait for them to, I basically make them forage and eat all kinds of bugs and anything that they can eat, because that's why we have them. We have them for pest control. The eggs are just kind of an extra bonus. We won't be getting eggs from this batch until the fall, but every single time I come outside, they follow me. So every time I come outside, this is what I deal with. Now, we prefer them to be down in the field over there. That's where their chicken house is and everything. But occasionally, they like to hang out in the front yard. But way over there is my garden, and they keep following me. They'll follow me all the way out to the garden, and I don't want them near the garden because they could do damage to the garden. So if I want to come outside just to stroll out to the garden, I have to feed them food because they will follow me everywhere. I tell them that they have to work for their food, and their food isn't just going to be handed to them. Isn't that life? That's the way life should be. All right, let's give them food, and then I usually run to try to get away from them all. Call all of them. I train my chickens to this sound when they're young chicks, so that way anytime I shake it, they know it's time to come for food. I'm definitely missing some chickens. Alright guys, well thank you for joining me on another Rabbitat video vlog. I hope this was useful to you. Just my daily routine. Pretty simple. Most days I can come out here for 10 minutes, feed all my rabbits, check them over, make sure they all look happy and healthy, and they're all set. Occasionally I have to give one a nest box, or take some time and wean some kits into the grow hutch. And then we always have that one bad processing day that we never look forward to. But that's about it. It's so simple. If you're looking to raise rabbits, there's not a whole lot to it. Once you get the hang of it and you just know, and it becomes second nature to you about raising rabbits, it just comes easy. So I recommend it to anyone looking to be more sustainable and produce your own meat on your homestead. I can't say this enough. It is so much easier than raising chickens, in my opinion. So I hope this video was helpful to you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. It would really help me out a lot. And go and check out the rabbitathomestead.com when you get a chance. So I'll see you guys in the next video, and God bless.